Laughter echoed across the sun-drenched park. Emily chased giggling children, their golden hair catching the light. John watched, his heart full. His life was perfect. A loving wife, 2 beautiful children, a fulfilling career. He snapped a picture, capturing the moment's joy. This was his everything. This was worth protecting.
I've built my world on stability. I crave control, order. Emily, my rock, grounds me. Her love is my haven. We're a team, facing life's challenges hand in hand.
He kissed her, the warmth of her lips a familiar comfort. Life was good. Too good to be true? The first tremor came subtly, a chance encounter at a work conference. Lisa, sleek, confident, her eyes like dark secrets. She was a storm in his calm harbor. John, initially resistant, found himself drawn in. Their conversations crackled with unspoken tension, a dangerous game. Their first meeting was electric. Stolen moments in crowded bars, hushed phone calls late at night. The thrill was intoxicating. John, consumed by guilt, told himself it meant nothing. It was an escape, a brief foray into the unknown. He was in control, or so he thought.
Lisa, a whirlwind of passion, ignited a fire in me I thought long dormant. I relished the secrecy, the double life I led. The man in the family photos, the devoted husband and father, seemed a world away. I was living on the edge, the adrenaline addictive.
But shadows lengthen even on the brightest days. John found himself making excuses, his thoughts constantly drifting back to Lisa. Emily, perceptive as ever, noticed his distraction. He brushed it off, attributing it to work stress. The guilt gnawed at him. Lisa, sensing his hesitation, grew possessive. Her calls became more frequent, her texts demanding. The playful banter turned sharp, laced with an undercurrent of menace. John, alarmed, tried to pull away, but it was like trying to outrun a wildfire.
"Don't you dare walk away from me."
Her voice was chillingly calm. John, shaken, realized he had underestimated her. This was not a game anymore. He had opened a door to something dark, something he could no longer control.
The joy I once felt with my family now feels tainted. Lisa's presence lingers, a poisonous fog. I love Emily, I truly do. But fear, cold and insidious, has begun to take root. I've made a terrible mistake. And now it seems it's too late to turn back.
Emily found the lipstick-stained cigarette butt. Her heart hammered in her chest, a cold dread seeping into her veins. She confronted John. His denials were unconvincing. The trust they had so carefully built over the years began to crumble.
"What is this, John? Who is she?"
Then came the phone calls, hushed whispers in the dead of night, flowers left on the doorstep, unsigned but laced with a cloying, unfamiliar perfume. Emily knew. Someone was watching them, toying with them. Fear, sharp and primal, became a constant companion.
"The children, sensing my unease, have grown quiet. The laughter that once filled our home is replaced by an unsettling silence."
John, trapped in the web of his own making, felt his world spiraling out of control. He had to do something, but what?
I have to do something, but what?
The walls close in. Lisa's harassment escalated. Threatening messages appeared on social media. Photos of Emily and the children, taken from afar, were left on their doorstep.
I went to the police, but without concrete proof they were powerless. I was living a nightmare.
The final straw came when Lisa appeared at their children's school. She didn't approach, didn't speak, but her presence was a chilling message.
"John, I saw the fear in her eyes, the way she clutched the children close. He knew he had to protect them, no matter the cost."
He made a plan, a weekend getaway to their remote cabin by the lake, a place to lie low, to regroup, to figure out how to extricate themselves from this nightmare. He told Emily it was a chance to reconnect, to heal, but in his heart, he knew it was more than that. It was a desperate gamble. Trapped in a nightmare. The cabin felt different this time, oppressive. The silence of the woods, once peaceful, now echoed with unseen dangers. John, his nerves on edge, scanned the tree line, his senses heightened.
I had a bad feeling, a knot of dread twisting in my gut.
Emily tried to be brave for the children's sake, but the fear was a tangible presence suffocating her.
"I jumped at every creak of the floorboards, every rustle of leaves outside."
The children, sensing the tension, clung to her, their innocent eyes wide with unspoken terror. That night, the storm hit. Rain lashed against the windows, the wind howling like a banshee. The power went out, plunging them into darkness. And then they heard it. A tapping at the door, soft at first, then growing more insistent. Terror gripped John's heart.
Lisa had found us.
Showdown at dusk. John's blood ran cold. He ushered his terrified family into the small, windowless pantry.
"Stay here," I whispered, my voice hoarse with fear.
He grabbed a heavy cast-iron skillet from the counter, his heart pounding against his ribs. It was time to end this. The front door swung open with a crash. Lisa stood in the doorway, rain-soaked and wild-eyed.
You can't hide from me, John, she hissed, her voice laced with fury. You're mine.
She took a step forward, her eyes glinting in the firelight. What followed was a blur of adrenaline and terror. John, fueled by a primal need to protect his family, fought back. The struggle was brutal, desperate. He could hear Emily's muffled sobs from the pantry, urging him on.
I wouldn't let her take them. I couldn't.
Picking up the pieces. The police arrived to find a scene of chaos. Lisa lay dead on the cabin floor, a look of twisted rage frozen on her face. John, his clothes torn, his hands shaking, sat huddled with his family, their sobs the only sound in the eerie silence.
The road to recovery was long and arduous. I confessed everything to Emily, the affair, the lies, the terror.
To his surprise, she didn't turn away.
I held him as he wept, my love a beacon in the darkness. We had survived, but the scars ran deep.
The idyllic life they had once known was gone. In its place was a fragile peace, held together by the threads of forgiveness and the enduring power of love. They had stared into the abyss and emerged, forever changed, but they had emerged together. And that, John knew, was all that mattered.